Coaching in Session.
Your exclusive destination for unparalleled personal and professional growth.
With your host, Michael Rearden.
Whether you choose to live within limits or break free, your mindset journey begins here.
One of the things I want you to be looking at today are going to be these two words, belief and commitment. Those two words are going to be the foundation for our conversation today. Because when we have belief, then that means maybe something that seems impossible could be possible, right? There's that belief that it's there, even if it's a small percentile, 1, 2, 3% of victory. It is still a victory if we can get the 3%. But what does commitment mean in the scheme of we are outmatched 97-3? Most people will look at those odds and say, I don't want to bet against that. But if it was the opposite, 97% to 3, everyone would be gun-ho. They wouldn't be worried about the 3%. But then again, we think about the top 1%. Top 1% and what they do, what they have attained, the lifestyles, the luxuries, the mindsets, the confidence, all of those things that we might be interested in. And I'm not saying that everyone is interested in those things. You might be one of those people who are not interested in what the 1% have. You might dislike the gap between the wealthy and the poor. But what I can tell you is the biggest gap is not about finances. It's about mindset. So today I wrote this article. It's a TUS Part 74, the mindset shift that changes everything. Now, before I go into the article, I want you to understand what a tune-up series is. A tune-up series is for people who have strong mindsets already and they're coming in and they're looking for coaching, but they are not looking to hire a coach. So people can come in, they can listen to this episode or they can work through this blog and they can get a jump start on where they need to be. Now, this is not to say that if you have a weak mindset that you can't learn from this podcast episode or that you can't learn from possibly this article. You can learn many different things. I like to think of it as if I teach you calculus, but I don't teach you adding and subtraction, did I do my work, right? And sometimes we might be at that adding and subtracting phase. Maybe we're adding good things in our life and we're taking away the bad things. So we don't need advanced calculations yet. We don't need advanced mindsets yet. But the moment we do, at least we know where to go. So depending on where your mind is right now, you might be someone who can dive into this wholeheartedly and it doesn't matter about belief and it doesn't matter about commitment because you already have it down packed. But for the people who might not believe in themselves yet, or the people who don't know how to follow through with their commitments, this article is going to be extremely challenging for you because you're going to find yourself always at a new crossroad, even if you got through the first hurdle. So we do have some steps for us to kind of guide our conversation today. It's going to be separated into 4 easy steps. The first step is going to be that we're going to learn how to stop the habits of seeing challenges as setbacks, right? There's going to be no barriers that are going to be able to stop us, right? We can permeate anything. Step 2 is going to be looking at viewing failure, right? They're not setbacks, they're lessons. People who fail, they say, oh, I'm a failure. I guess I can't do this, right? They look at all the negative, right? The pessimistic mind takes over in that realm. So we're going to be looking at that step 2. And then looking at step 3, recognizing that effort is not optional, right? It's the driving force that powers your growth beyond your current limits. And we're going to be diving into that. That's going to be a beautiful mindset melody for number 3. And then 4, we're going to reject temptation to settle for incremental progress alone, right? So we're going to be looking at what is most in alignment with us. All of these steps are going to be essential for you to progress your mindset. Now, there's many ways you can elevate yourself and your mindset and the shifting that you can do. For example, maybe you're someone who's not going to the gym right now. If you can give yourself this idea of going to the gym, and naturally you're going to have a mindset shift. Something you didn't want to do or something you haven't been doing, now you're doing it. Maybe you learn to love the gym. I know when people, they finally start to receive the results, they're taking more pictures, they're looking in the mirror and they're looking at Oh, wow, look at how beautiful I am, or how handsome I am, or how jacked I am, or whatever it be, right? But before they might have said they were beautiful when they looked in the mirror. They might have said, I'm fine the way I am. And it's not that we can't appreciate who we are, but we do have to understand who we can become. And so sometimes we have layers of fluff, and the fluff can be everything, right? The fluff can be we have people who don't serve us, jobs that are meaningless. It could be extra weight, whatever, right? The fluff of life, right? We want to get down to the nitty gritty. We want to get down to the roots. We want to get down to what's going to really give us some cause and purpose in our life. Some people call it why. Some people call it mission. What is your vision, right? All of these terms, these terminologies can be essential in a roundabout way to mindset. But the idea is, who are you without them? Because if I took away everything that you had, who are you still as a person? I took away the cars, I took away the homes, I took away the clothes, and you're just there. What do you have? Do you still have your dignity? Do you still have your pride? Do you still have your ambitions? I don't know what you have, but maybe you can figure that out for yourself, because that is the process to determining the mindset shift. One of the things I love to see is when millionaires, they say, hey, I'm going to show you how easy it is to make $1 million. And some of them don't even use their connections. They say, okay, I'm going to start from nothing. Or maybe they start with like $5 or $10 or something. We all can get $5 or $10, right? You go in the corner, you beg for $5 or $10. 2, 3 hours later, you have the money. Easy enough. So you have this money. How can you compound it? How can you make it work for you? Many people, they have a wrong mindset of finances and of money, right? They think, they have to work for money rather than money work for them. So people don't invest. People are not practical about the things. But a millionaire can take what they have and they can amplify it, versus what many people think when it comes to these wealthy individuals and these wealthy classes. They say, well, we're going to take more from them. We're going to tax them more. And that's going to fix all of the problems in the world. And the problem is not them, it's you not showing up. And I know it's a hard pill to swallow. Why should we put the blame on you for not showing up rather than when other people are succeeding? This is the mindset shift here. So when we start to look at step one of our most crucial steps is we need to understand that many of life's challenges and barriers and obstacles are going to be there as lessons. Those lessons become foundations or stepping stones for us to build upon. I can't tell you how many people, they have a moment in their life where something is not exactly beautiful or right, and they curse the moment. They curse whatever their circumstance is, rather than saying, this is where I am right now. This is where I am today. This can be the start of everything, the change that you want, the goodnesses that you would love to bask in. This is just the mindset. You can't look at obstacles and barriers and challenges as something that's stopping you. You have to think of it as something that you can step onto, and it's going to get you closer to the top, get you closer to the goal, get you closer to where you want to be. Everything is within reach, but you have to, again, believe you can reach it. Now, this idea of step two, right? We're viewing failures and setbacks as not merely lessons, but as a signal that guides you to adjust our approach and figure out what is going right and what is going wrong, right? So we deepen your self-awareness, right? We are looking at things rather than just doing things and not paying attention. I don't want you to keep doing something that's not working. One of the things that people come to me for is they will say, I'm spinning my wheels. I feel stuck, right? Is because they don't give themselves this idea of, well, let's reconnect with what we truly want. And let's figure out a different way to get there. Because there's no one true path in order for you to get to the life that you want. Some people, they take the scenic route, but yet they want a direct flight. They don't want any layovers, but yet it's the cheapest cost. So people, they would stay in their comfort zone thinking that they're going to eventually get to their location on time, but they find themselves late to the party and there's no food and they hear literally having scraps and crumbs from the buffet, closing time. But I don't want you to be there like that. I want you to be there in front of the line. I want you to be the first person to say, hey, where can I be seated? Right? It's time to dine. It is time to live. But yet you can't just say, the reason why I'm late or the reason why I'm not showing up is because of something, right? Those things are excuses. There are going to be no valid excuse if you want something good in your life. This is a mindset shift here. And so we have to relinquish our excuses. We have to relinquish the lesser version of ourselves that's saying, hey, maybe not today. Maybe we're not enough yet. Because we can compare ourselves to other people and they're so much grander, they're so much more beautiful, and they're so much more practical, and they're so much more confident. And we can look at our discrepancies and we can say that we are not there, but we are just arriving. And as we arrive, maybe we have to, instill ourselves with a bit of confidence that might not be fully stable. But the more we reside and the more we lean into it, we're going to find that that confidence is going to become our own. It's going to become second nature. And so the things that we do are just going to flourish to everything else we touch, to everything else we think about. Then we look at step 3, the effort that we're putting in. I want you to understand that is a great effort, right? I'm not saying that you're doing such a wonderful job and you can't do any more, right? One of the things I tell myself, and this is definitely a strong mindset view, this is not for everyone. So take this with a grain of sand or, like a grain of salt, is when I'm doing something, I say I'm not done yet. If I ever reach the pinnacle of something where they say, how did you do it, Michael? You're so fantastic. What's some advice that people can follow? And sure, right, we can look at this article and we can give them these 4 steps. But one of the things that are going to be residing within my mind is I'm not done yet, because I understand that either there's someone on my butt trying to reach where I'm at right now or get ahead of me, or I'm going to stagnate and plateau. And I know that's going to be the death of me. So I basically say, I'm not done yet. There's still more to do. There's more mountains to climb. There's more journey to walk upon. There's more life to live. So I'm not done yet. After this episode, I'm not done yet. After I'm dead and gone, I'm not done yet, right? I have no more time, but I'm not done yet. I'm going to keep on doing things, right? And it might not be the exact consciousness of me or the direct actions of my body, but it's going to be the legacy that I leave behind. I am not done yet. There is still more to be had in life than just the one life you're given. So I'm going to reject that idea that, I'm doing everything I can right now. Maybe you think you are. You're not. You're not. You need to have a good, strong mindset for that idea. You are just approaching your limit. And always keep that idea of you are just approaching your limit. Maybe one day your limit is 200. Maybe we can think of it as lifting weights in the gym, right? You're benching 200, you're squatting 200. Is that your limit? No, because you can put 210, right? You could put 300. So this is the idea of our limit can keep on growing. Now, maybe you give yourself this idea of my limit was 300 and now I'm at 200, so I must be falling short. Well, let's look at it a different way. Just because your limit is now 200 and your limit was 300, you know that since you have reached 300 before, that you can reach 300 again. And this is not about age. I can't tell you how many people they hit a certain age and they go, "Oh, I'm not a teen anymore. I can't do what I did when I was young one," or something like that. Sure, right? You can give yourself that mindset, but it's detrimental to your growth and your prosperity. Now, what I love to see is when I'm seeing people who are 65, 70 years old, and they're basically saying, I'm in the best shape of my life. They might not have all the muscles and things like they had when they were teens, but that is not what they are going to portray success as in their health and their fitness, right? Maybe they can run around with their grandkids without getting, out of breath or, winded. Maybe they can, go hiking with friends and things like that, or they can go out for a night of dancing and their knees don't hurt. These things can lead to the mindset of you are in the best shape of your life because maybe at one point you couldn't do those things. Yeah, sure. Maybe you don't lift 300 pounds anymore, but you can do things that truly invigorate who you are, the passion, this idea of what life can be, right? We're not just simply settling for, this incremental progress of trying to get that 300 again, right? Maybe we don't hit that 300 again, but we refine our focus. Maybe 200 is done differently. Maybe our process to how we work out is different. Our body is going to be different, right? With age. And so we acclimate to where we are. We pivot, right? That's the idea of what mindset shifts are. We pivot. We don't simply say, this is a challenge, this is a barrier, this is something I can't do. A pivot is not a escape route. It's our averting our direction. So for example, let's say there's an accident on the highway. Your navigation system is going to give you a different direction to your location. Can you say, oh, I'm supposed to go through this crash and I'm supposed to move these cars because they're in my way? Yeah, sure. You can have yourself that mindset, but then you can say the destination is the goal. Now, this is more so of this idea of mindset shifts and pivoting, not so much of what life is, because there is only a goal behind the goal when it comes to our life and what we should be looking at. It's not about the destination, it's about the journey. Can you enjoy being in traffic? Do you enjoy driving down the road or something along those lines or to where you want to be? And then do you enjoy doing it again and again and again, right? That can be what life is. Then we look at the final piece of the puzzle, right? Number 4, rejecting the temptation to settle for the incremental progress alone, right? We are going to be looking at what is in alignment with us. I think of what alignment is. Alignment is going to be what is the best fit for you. Because maybe what is good for you might not be good for your parents or your spouse or your kids or your friends or your coworkers. What is good for you? Now, this is not to say we're going to be delving into vices where maybe alcohol is good for me or drugs are good for me, right? Because those things are just placebos in the sense of they make you think you're feeling good. But the reality is it's having a reverse effect, right? It's breaking you down. So there's going to be things in life that are going to build you up, and there's going to be things that are going to break you down. And so the things that break you down are not going to be in alignment to your end goal or your daily goal of making sure you are better than you were the day before. I know it could be challenging to, always look behind you and say, whoa, it's a lot of work I've done, right? Do I have to keep on doing all that work? And the answer is yes, you do, right? But the work can be different, right? It's not so much that you have to go to a 9 to 5 and you have to slave your life away. You don't have to do that every single day. What I have done in my past, and if I look back, I might say, you know what, I have done that before. For example, I was a swim instructor, right? I love teaching kids how to swim. Would I do it again? I would teach my friends' kids how to swim. I would teach my kids how to swim. But then again, to go out and get paid to teach people how to swim, I'm not interested, right? It's not that I can't do it. It's not that I won't do it. It's just that I'm not in alignment with that right now. So I have other focuses that need my attention, that need my direction. So I'm going to be looking at where my values shine the most. And from there, I'm going to be doing activities and giving myself mindsets that are going to help embellish everything else that I'm doing rather than just saying, I'm doing a little bit better than I was the day before. I'm just trying to stay up, another day, another dollar. How many mindsets are going to be ruined by this, this simple thinking? And this simple thinking is not beneficial to us long term. So we have to give ourselves a mindset shift. And one of the ways that you can begin to give yourself a mindset shift is, of course, to check out this article, TUS Part 74, the mindset shift that changes everything. Now, what is everything? Everything could be anything that you would like it to be. I had a poem that I created for a girl. I don't even have the poem anymore. And it was a wonderful poem, but I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to get it because it used to be on my Facebook or my MySpace page or something. This is old, like high school, right? And it was called Everything and More. And the idea was how I was trying to get everything from maybe one person or one situation or one thing. And what I was finding that there was always more that needed to be tacked on. And in life, we can have a similar idea to what that can mean because maybe we find someone we truly love. Maybe it could be an inanimate like object of like a home or car or something like that. We truly love these things, maybe. But maybe, things are not going right in the relationship. And maybe your eyes start to wander. And so you start to see another guy or another girl, and you're like, whoa, that's a really good person. And I hope that maybe I can incorporate them into my life. And so you forego your current relationship and you go for this new relationship. And maybe somewhere down the road that the relationship that you thought was perfect and it was exactly what you were missing is no longer fulfilling the roles of what you thought it would fulfill. And so now you're looking for a new relationship. So you're continually looking for more. This is the idea that there's always going to be another person in the world that's going to be maybe more beautiful or more handsome or more financially fit or more jacked and fit and or maybe a car that's faster or the perfect color for you that sits better, that drives better, or maybe a home is more beautiful than the one you have. And this is the idea that there are so many things in life, right? That could be everything, but there's always more. There's always more that can be had. Let's not just say that there's going to be things like relationships or materialistic goods that we can be going after. Maybe there's more potential for us. Maybe there's more prosperity for the ones that are around us. All of these things can happen if we say, yeah, sure, we know what we want. We know what we have to do. I'm willing to commit to all of this. And then you keep on doing it every single day. Do you stop? No. There's no vacation days. There's no 65. There's no retirement, right? There's only the journey. And the journey is you showing up. And this is the mindset shift that can change everything. There is no one day. There's day one. Every single day is day one. Every single day, there's urgency. Every single day, there's progression. Every single day, there's an invigoration that should come over you to take another step, even when things are uncertain or things are heavy. If you can give yourself this idea that there will be a way, there will become a way. And this is where belief and commitment come and they meld so beautifully together to create the mindset shift that can change everything in your life. And of course, if you are a person that needs support, you can head over to revenconcepts.com. We help people on the daily with this idea of mindset shifts and this idea that they can go after the life that they're dreaming of. It doesn't have to be a fantasy anymore. It doesn't have to be this far-fetched idea that maybe they will like these good things and hopefully it will happen one day. Maybe that one day can be today. So let today be your day one. Let today be the day you decide for change to occur in your life. Let today be the day that you believe in yourself, maybe because you have lost belief in everything else. And maybe today can be that day where you commit to the change that's going to change everything and more.